Dr. Vanita Zahn.
As we work our way back to normalcy, being out of doors is taking priority when it comes to spending time with friends and family. So that means the barbecue is going to be fired up. Registered dietitian and diabetes educator Joelle Malinowski back with us. Hi there, Joelle. Good to see you.
Good to see you. I'm doing great.
That's what we need to hear. And part of doing great now has been following, all kinds of safety protocol, which now we're going to shift over to grilling as well. And there are things we need to keep in mind. Hit it.
Right. Yes. It's the perfect time to get outside and put your grill to use. But it is important to and crucial to keep some of those food safety tips in mind to help prevent, cross-contamination of foodborne illness. I mean, I think I need to explain this now, but hand washing is definitely still key. Get those hands nice and clean before cooking, during cooking, and even after cooking. Don't forget to clean the grilling utensils as well as the grill before and after use. You also want to prevent charring, because charring creates carcinogens, which can cause cancer. So when you want to prevent that, you can use marinade. It's also important. Oh, go ahead. What?
No, so that you don't want to get, people look for those, those grill marks.
Yes. Right, yes. I mean, a little bit's okay, but that char, that blackness, that's the carcinogens there, and that's what leads to a lot of cancers, especially colon cancer is one of them. Okay. So avoiding those chars is definitely important, and you can do that with marinades.
Wonderful.
You also want to make sure that you cook the food to the internal temperature, the proper internal temperature. It's different for each foods, and there's many guides out there online. Even on eatright.org, you can find one to know and making sure that you cook it at the optimal temperature to prevent, growth of bacteria. A lot of times the packaging will have it on there. So take a look at those meats that you buy to see if the packaging does have the temperature that you need to cook to.
And then get yourself a good meat thermometer.
Yes, get yourself a good meat thermometer, right. What's also important is to avoid cross-contamination. That can happen when you're using different surfaces or different foods, mixing your raw meats and your cooked meats and your vegetables with your raw meat, the juices. So you want to make sure that you're either cleaning the plates, the utensils, the cutting boards, or using different ones.
Now, the next thing you talked about, you don't want to char because that can lead to colon cancer. Red meat has been implicated in that. So the next thing on the list is produce.
Right, yes. So I have some top produce that you definitely want to do. Especially tomatoes are fantastic. The fiber that's in them, the vitamin A, the vitamin C, the potassium, plus they're high in water, which is a great hydrating choice for you. Peppers are another great vegetable to grill on there. They, again, have an abundance of vitamin C. Mushrooms and eggplant are also great vegetables to choose because you can use those as meat replacements. A lot of vegetarians use them as their protein source or their meat substitute source because you can make a portobello mushroom burger.
So, Joelle, let me jump in. That would be your plant-based option?
They're part of that, yes. That's not the only ones out there, though, of course.
So what else makes a good plant-based option?
Another great plant-based option can be you can grill tofu, you can make great veggie burgers or vegan sausages. That's another great way to go about it.
Great. And these are things you wonder about, tofu. Does that hold up on the grill?
It can, but you can always use the tin foil around it or bread it around it to help keep it on the grill.
Joel, you talked about marinades a little bit before. There are some safety things we need to keep in mind, though, when using marinades, correct?
Yes. When you are marinating, it is best to keep it in the fridge, not on the kitchen counter, because, again, that temperature control. A lot of bacteria can grow in that warm room temperature, environment. So keeping it in the fridge to marinate, as well as you don't want those juices getting onto any food that's already cooked or your veggies or fruits, because again, that juice that's been marinating in that raw meat now has the bacteria that hasn't been cooked off. So if you are going to save those marinades, it's good to bring them to a boil.
And for how long?
About 5-10 minutes. It depends on each marinade and the cooking device. But you can always use your meat thermometer to make sure that it reaches that same temperature as the meat.
Joelle Malinowski, you've always got such mouth-watering suggestions for us, so everybody can...
One more suggestion for you, just before we go, is don't forget about fruits on the grill. Those are fantastic dessert options because the sugar caramelizes on the grill in that high heat and makes it extra sweet and extra delicious. So don't forget to use your fruits on that grill. That's another great produce for grilling.
I love it. Sounds great. What time is the barbecue? We're coming over.
All right, come on over anytime.
Joelle Malinowski, registered dietitian. Thanks. Have a great barbecue, and we'll see you again soon, I'm sure. And thank you all for joining us. We will see you next time. And remember, new programs post every Monday and Thursday. Eat safe, eat well, take care.